Most likely there's not going to be too much, but every once in a while, pig might get a little moody. So today I'm actually going to go fill up some grain barrels. So I'll show you guys a little bit of that process, I guess. You want to come along? Let's go. All right, so that's pretty much the process for getting the grain where I get it from, and the barrels that I fill it with. These are not feed barrels. These are actually old missile transportation barrels from the Air Force. But I do like that it has a locking ring on the top to secure it so that I can turn it on its side, unload it, and things like that. Let's see. So today we picked up 200 pounds of loose grain, plus the barrel is about 40 to 50 pounds. I don't have them fill the barrel all the way up. It usually is about half to 2/3 roughly is what I like to do. Otherwise it gets a little too cumbersome to unload, to tilt up on the hand truck, and to roll it around in this loose dirt that I've got. So that's why I do the weight that I do. I could fill it less often with a bigger load, but then I also might hurt myself, so I want to stay away from that. But good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Boisterous Cock Farmstead. So it's finally time. I am starting to work on the house again, and one of the things that I got here over the holiday break is I picked up some rolling scaffolding, and what that's going to allow me to do is I'll be able to work on getting the seams and going across the ceiling. There's a larger platform that I can walk around on and not have to worry about getting up and down off of the ladder or balancing myself or whatever. I can actually put some materials, so like my drywall mud bucket can sit on here as well, so I'm not up and down to get more mud. And if I feel secure enough on here, I can actually unlock the rolling casters and move myself along so where I can actually work on whatever surface I need to work on. So I'm going to work on the dining room and the transition from the kitchen, finish that up, coming into the dining room area, and we'll test out this scaffolding in here before moving on to the vaulted ceiling area, where I will actually stack a second scaffold on top. Potentially, we'll see how secure this one is, but I think I'm going to have to do a double so that I can get up there and put that drywall up on where the ceiling fan light is going to be, and get the seams and everything like that, and not have to worry about balancing myself on a ladder or doing anything crazy like that. So that's one thing I'll be working on here over the next few days, weeks, whatever. The other thing is I went this morning and dropped off the pig to the butcher, and upon dropping him off, I stopped by my hay place to get some more hay, and found out a little bit of bad news, found out some news. I'm gonna have to make an adjustment. They no longer have the Sudan grass that I've been using as more of a filler for my pigs to kind of fill their bellies up. And so I think what I'm actually gonna have to do is start to ferment more grain and feed it to a broader number of pigs, which ultimately might be the more beneficial thing to do. But if I do that, I'm actually going to really have to engineer some sort of a trough or whatever, especially for my main herd out there. And I'm gonna move, now that this finishing pen is empty, I'm gonna move some of my smaller pigs from over there into this area here to let them kind of catch up and grow up a little bit faster and not have to compete with food out there. And on Pumpkin and my boar Gumbo, I may just keep feeding them alfalfa. They're doing fairly well on that. And I've got a lot of extra eggs right now, so that are starting to get old. Now that the chickens are producing a little bit more, I'm probably going to boil up some of those and give the pigs a little bit of a treat. And I may focus a little bit more on certain areas or certain herds, certain groups that may not be getting the high nutrient fermented feed quite yet. So that's all what's going on right now, and I'm gonna get to doing the chores this morning. All right, so I cleaned this pen out a little bit and kind of moved some of the dry spent hay over to the little toilet corner, and got some fresh spent hay over there to kind of cover up some of the urine stained whatever. These guys will probably use that same corner because most of the time this is where they tend to use. But I got these guys in here, fed them the fermented grain that I would have normally fed to those other 2 pigs that I had in here, and fed the other 2 herds with the rest of the bucket. As I said before, the hay supplier that I have, they're out of the Sudan grass hay that I buy as kind of the filler, and they will be out of it until the end of the summer when they do a new harvest. So that leaves me 6 or 7 months that I need to alter my feed schedule here. Hopefully within about 6 weeks or so I'll be able to start doing the fodder trays again. I'll have to look to see what time of year it's going to stop freezing, and until then I'll keep these guys in here. Got some fresh straw in their hut to keep them warm, but they should be able to stay warm with being 3 of them in here. So now need to let these other guys out back into their regular pen. I've got them over into the small pasture area just so that I can bring those other pigs through here. And they were nice and hungry. I hadn't fed them this morning, so they followed me relatively well. They got sidetracked by a couple sound or smells here and there, but we'll let these guys back in here, and then I'll dump the spent hay that's all urine soaked and everything like that into this pasture. You guys ready to come in? Oh yeah. So we'll bring this over into the field that they were just in. Now I can go spread this wherever I see fit on my my pasture that I'm trying to establish some vegetation on. I have not seeded this, and I may actually not seed it this year, but we'll just have to see how things go. See what naturally grows up this spring here. Got quite a bit of little sprouts here and there, but there's a lot of hard packed areas still. So I'm gonna go through, try to spread as much of this stuff as I can. I think what I'm gonna do today at some point, I'll go into my big pen here that has my Duroc, my big orange Duroc, and my American Guinea Hog boar, and clean their pen out pretty good, get that, all the manure and everything out of there, and I'll dump that in here. So I'm gonna have to put them into this pen in order to clean that pen up. So I may have to do a little bit of jockeying as far as that goes. Usually what I do is I put them in that grassy area in the middle, just off of their pen to the north here. I'm in the pasture to the south, but I've got the chicken tractor up in there right now, so I don't want my pigs going up in there and pushing up against and possibly damaging my chicken tractor. So we're just gonna have to deal with whatever behavioral issues we might encounter with bringing them out here. So most likely there's not going to be too much, but every once in a while pig might get a little moody. So I'm going to get on that. I've got some more cleaning up, prepping up to do in the house for doing the mudding and taping in there, and I'm going to do some more editing so that you guys can get these wonderful videos. Hopefully you think they're wonderful. If you do like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. Click the bell notification so that you're notified when we have new content come out. And as always, thanks for joining us, and God bless.